Hello, this is Tech Happy Life with Dr. Mike Brooks. In today's episode, we are covering gaming disorder. Are games controlling your kids? Now, you might have read recently, this just came out, that the World Health Organization, the WHO, which publishes the International Classification of Diseases, has recently identified gaming disorder as a new disorder. The idea that there could be a gaming disorder is a bit controversial, and frankly I have some mixed feelings about it, so I want to delve into this topic today. First of all, any mental health disorder, including gaming disorder, would be considered a hypothetical construct. What I mean by that is they aren't real things. There's no blood test for any mental health disorder, or at least for the most part. So depression, anxiety, ADHD, even addiction, pretty much any mental health disorder just consists of symptoms and behaviors that we all exhibit from time to time, whether it's restlessness, fatigue, sadness, concentration problems. So when it comes to a gaming disorder, the question is, when does an intense interest and fun playing a game cross over a threshold to become a gaming disorder? It's really not clear. Diagnosing any mental health condition may never be an exact science. A gaming disorder is no different. How severe does the problem have to be before it crosses that threshold? How much impairment does it have to cause? For how long? So all these things are a little fuzzy. Even if criteria are put out there by the ICD-11, it's still not definitive. It's still not black or white. Another critical issue is the gaming disorder actually a symptom of another problem? For instance, there's good data to indicate that people who are on the screen a lot, including gaming, tend to be more depressed. So the more they're on the screen, the more depressed they get. But then we're talking about, is the gaming disorder actually a symptom of an underlying problem like depression? This next issue is a personal pet peeve of mine, so I'm just going to throw it out there. So there are other forms of screen use that seem to be equally, if not more, problematic than gaming, but gaming somehow is getting singled out and scapegoated as the biggest problem. That just doesn't seem fair. Why stop at gaming disorder? What about news junkies, or just a screen disorder, or social media addiction, or addiction to internet pornography? It's singling out gaming as its own problem, but we all know the screens can be a problem for everybody, and for some it's very severe. So it seems a little odd to stop just at a gaming disorder if you're going to go down here. But one thing I do like that the ICD, and it's the ICD-11, I think got right, is they called it a gaming disorder and not a gaming addiction. Now, if we start asking whether it's an addiction, that's a whole nother can of worms, and in a future episode, we will take this on. Regardless of what we call it, I think we can all agree that too much gaming can cause severe problems in a person's life. For example, there are teens, and I know of these teens, that are playing Fortnite. That's the hot game now, and I don't want to throw Fortnite under the bus, but there are plenty of teens and young adults and even kids that are playing hours and hours of Fortnite, and I hear of teens playing on school nights till 2 a.m. and their grades are really suffering. So it can merit clinical attention because it is causing severe problems in the person's life. Although many activities can be very compelling and we spend a lot of time doing them, like reading, or maybe it's playing soccer or watching soccer, World Cup, or playing a musical instrument, there's something a bit different about the video game experience that can make it so compelling that it's difficult to stop and disengage. And so what happens is playing video games can start to eclipse other important life activities like sleep, physical activity, in-person social interactions. And here's the thing, companies know how to make compelling games that are so difficult to put down, and they weave different strategies, tricks, if you will, into the gaming experience that makes it very difficult for gamers to put the game down. Sometimes this is called persuasive technology. companies know how to weave these things into games because they hire neuroscientists and psychologists and social psychologists to weave those tricks and strategies into the gaming experience so the gamers don't want to put it down, because companies ultimately make their money based on users spending time on their games. So the bottom line is this: although there are some legitimate concerns about a diagnosis of a gaming disorder, we all know that many people struggle with gaming to the extent that it can cause significant impairments in different life domains. Regarding what to do about it, whether it's a gaming disorder or just too much screen time, in the next episode, I'll be introducing the Tech Happy Life model, which is an approach to help you and your family manage the challenges of screen time in a more effective way. This is Tech Happy Life with Dr. Mike Brooks, and I hope to see you next episode.